Hey everybody, today I'm going to show you creamy paneer masala. It's going to be really yummy, and I'm going to show you two options on how you can have some variations. So I got some paneer here cut in triangle pieces. Half of them are fried, half of them are plain. If you do decide to fry or saute them to get that brown color on top, you do use a non-stick pan. You can use Instant Pot, but it's gonna stick to the bottom. A small onion, 2 cloves of garlic, half a piece of ginger ground to a fine paste in your magic bullet or blender, whatever you have. I have some chopped tomatoes here, about 3/4 of a cup. And then in here I have my saute mode going on, and I have some butter as well as some oil in there. So again, adjust that quantity according to what you prefer. And so in here I have my spice box. So some whole spices here, cinnamon, whole black pepper, as well as some elaichi or cardamom, some sugar here. This is what's gonna go in first. So about half a teaspoon of sugar going in there. And then just dumping in the whole masalas here. Just adding them here. Now, I did try to fry my paneer in here, which is why you see my bottom being brown. But yeah, like I said, do use a non-stick pan. Okay, so I'm going to saute the onion, garlic, ginger paste for about 2 to 3 minutes until it's kind of the water has evaporated and it's turned a pale brown color. Okay, so here I want to show you something. Here's what we're gonna do. I have about a little bit of water, like maybe 1/4 of a cup in here. I'm gonna add some turmeric, about 1/4 to a half teaspoon. About 1/4 of a teaspoon of red chili powder or paprika. I have about 1/4 of a teaspoon of garam masala. I'm gonna add a little bit more, and then another half a teaspoon. This is my spoon measure though, of coriander powder. I'm gonna mix these things up and keep it ready to pour it into my Instant Pot. Okay, so my onion is kind of all cooked up, and now I'm gonna add in my tomato puree. So you can also use some tomato paste or just cut up a few tomatoes and just blend them in the blender, just so that you basically, because this is going to be a creamy gravy, I don't want any chunky pieces of onion or tomato in there, which is the reason why you want to do this. And also make sure that you cook it nicely. So again, let the tomatoes cook for a little bit. Okay, so now it's the time to put in this masala mixture into your tomato that's been cooking up. So I'm gonna just take this, put that in here, okay, and then just move it around, let it continue to cook. So now the masalas are also going to cook up. And to this we are gonna add some kasuri methi or dried fenugreek. Okay, so in went about a couple of tablespoons of the kasuri methi or dried fenugreek leaves. Time to add some salt according to taste. So just make sure you add enough. Mix it around. So at this point we are ready to add our paneer. Now, how do you make this creamy, right? It's gonna be a creamy recipe. So you have a few different options. If you have some whipping cream, you add that. Just about however much like consistency and gravy you want. You don't want to add too much. Maybe about 1/4 of a cup maximum. Again, depends on the quantity of paneer you're cooking up. You can also use half and half if you don't have whipping cream on hand. And the other option is to just use some plain old milk. And you can choose to mix it with some yogurt, but today I have whole milk, so I'm just going to add a little bit of that to give it some creaminess. You also saw that I added butter in the beginning. That also adds to that creamy flavor that you're going to get out of this dish. Okay, so I added about 1/4 to a half cup of milk, and then I'm going to put in all of my paneer pieces in there. Just give it a toss, and now again I'll show you what I do next just to make this like look really scrumptious. So I'm gonna add in some red food color. This is what's gonna give it that restaurant look. If you're against food color, if you don't want to use it, you want to eat it just like this, feel free to do so. This is purely optional. Yeah, so just a few drops in there, mix it around, and then I've turned off my saute mode, and now we're gonna put on the lid. Okay, so everything is mixed in. The color is a little bit better, right? It's kind of that nice reddish brown color. And now here's what we're gonna do. Since the paneer is mostly like a cooked thing, this is not something you want to cook for long. So we're gonna only do it on manual mode for 5 minutes. But what can you do in those 5 minutes that will help you multitask? I have some leftover rice here that I'm just going to heat in here. So anything you want to reheat from your previous meal or something like that, that is what can go in here in those 5 minutes. Another option is if you want to boil some eggs, those can go in here as well. So those are a couple of different options. Also, I just wanted to share, like, once I'm done with this dish, I'm going to separate them out. So half, I'm going to divide it into 2 parts, and I'm going to add green peas to 1 part. So it's going to be like your paneer matar masala. It's going to be add a whole different level of like flavor, and like gives you variation. So you kind of can cook 2 dishes with this, right? So I don't want to add the peas right now. I didn't want to put it in that because the peas cook really fast, and I didn't want them to change color. I want that bright green color. So here goes in the rice. Okay, so my lid is on in sealing position, and here all I'm gonna do is cook manual, so pressure cook, get that to 5, it's pressure high, everything looks good, and I'll see you on the other side.